Alright, we're back. 1968 Mustang Shelby GT 500 KR car. It's been quite a while since I've taken a video of this, and I'll just go through and show you some of the things that have changed. First of all, it's running now, and runs really good. The heater hoses have been installed. Back to the firewall. The air conditioning lines are in. I still have to put the insulation in around the expansion valve little tube there that gets insulated so that it is better heat transfer. The condenser. I have purchased two brand new condensers and I broke both of them. And it turns out that on the suction side hose is like 3 inches too long, and the pressure of it actually broke the valve fitting on the condenser. So having two broken ones now, I decided to see if I can get a machine shop to actually repair it, and they're currently there right now. As far as the hose, the suction side, this is the discharge side that goes to the condenser. I sent that to Florida, and they're going to shorten it they're going to take about 3 inches off of it so it'll work correctly. I got the washer bottle installed. Some of the decals have been installed now. The fan's in. That fan was a big issue. Had multiple issues with that, trying to get the right size fan, and the adapter spacer. That was quite the challenge. The engine's been flushed out. I put some engine flush rust inhibitor in there and let it soak for basically about 5 weeks, and just flushed it out today. The air conditioner line's in. You can see the suction hose that goes back to the firewall back there, and then this line goes to the dryer. And as soon as I get the condenser back, I'll install that. And got most of the Shelby parts now. I got the passenger side headlight bucket. Have all the mounts for that. In the back, got the trunk lid finally. Bought two rear quarter extensions. This one was from Tony Branda, and that one just did not fit the car. So I had another one from, I think it was Pony Parts or something, that really fit well. And so I've blended it in, and this is just the first stages of it. This is just past the mock-up stage, just trying to get it blended in correctly. On this side, it looks like it's going to fit good. I'm working on, I got some filler to put in, and I'm going to have to build this up on the tail panel, or the rear quarter, because you can see it's about 3/16 low, and it's flush here but not flush here, so this is going to have to be built up. These fiberglass panels are not great. It's really raised up here. I don't know if you can see that. It's just raised up. It is what it is. Back here, when I originally put the taillights panel pieces in, I thought I had them centered correctly. but they were too low, so I had to move them, and even moving them up, they were still too small, so I'm increasing the hole size to 3¼ inches, and I've just got through filling those in, and I still have to drill the holes. And so I can move, so I can put, I'm gonna have to build some new ones, but I really would like to have the metal caps in there, because that's gonna help with fumes in the car, water getting in the car, because the rear panel, which is right there, that rear panel, just, you know, it's not leak proof. So anyhow, I think it's coming together pretty good. I think it looks like it's fitting well. I'm not too sure what I'm going to have to do with the trunk lid. It looks, I mean, the trunk lid looks great the way it is here. The problem is the trunk lid is actually too tall. It's too tall this way, and I think I'm going to have to shorten it about 1/4 inch so it doesn't interfere with the rear quarter or with the rear tail panel up there. It seems to want to interfere, and I can't go back any further. It's fairly tight up against there. So and if you look at other Shelbys, they're kind of that way anyway, but the problem is that panel's not going to be flush if I do that. So it's kind of disappointing, but I don't know any other way around it. So that's where we are with this. And I said it's been probably, I don't know, 4 months, maybe even longer, since I've made a recording. It's May 14th, 2022, and I started this car back in, I think it was around August of 2020. So it's gonna be 2 years coming up. But the engine is in. Next thing I gotta do is, I've been working on the dash. I need to get the air conditioner stuff in, and the vacuum lines have been all hooked up for the air conditioner. The line for the amp meter gauge on the Shelby console has been done. I have it wired for the oil pressure gauge. That's been done. So the only thing left is on the gauge cluster, the tack. I had the tack man actually rebuild the entire cluster, and they changed the tack inside of it, so it's more of a digital tack that reads better instead of a, I forget what they did to it. Anyway, it was an expensive ordeal to do, but they've got 3 wires coming out. Now one's powered to switch, one's to ground, and the other one goes to the coil. So my next step on this is to, I really would like to get the gauges in, the air conditioner complete, and get the air conditioner filled with R12, run the engine, and make sure it's cold for the air conditioner. The power steering works. The headers have been installed. That was a challenge that you can't even hardly see them because it's so packed in here. But the headers have been installed. You can see one way down there. They've been installed, and that forced me to raise the engine up about an inch and I had to rework the sway bar assembly. I was able to drop it down or shorten the spacers, so it's now only spaced up I think 3/4 of an inch, and got a new battery for it. So it's been a challenge to get the engine in there. I mean, it's as you can see, there is no room in this engine bay anymore. I mean, it's jam packed. So the goal is to once I get the engine where the air conditioning works, where I'm not hanging over the engine bay all the time, I can put plastic on that and then focus on getting the body panels all on and aligned correctly. The doors are pretty good. I think I've shown you those in the past. I've got an issue here. The door gap is bad, and of course the fender's not aligned correctly on the car to begin with, but at least I can get the fenders bolted up. I can drill for the hood pins. Hood pins go in here. I can get those drilled. I can get the front headlight buckets on, the lower valance on, and then I can start with the body work. And there's, you know, the panels are fairly straight. It's just a matter of just going through every inch of the car and making sure that they are correct and aligned. And you know, you know, and I'll piddle with that for, you know, months. But for the most part, it's coming along. It's just being worked on as I can, and I just really want to make sure I try to do the best job I can with what I got, and that the car is going to be good. Oh, I also got the rims. That's the other thing I want to do, is I want to get the tires on it. I got the rims here. They're knockoff Shelby rims. It's hard to find anything Shelby right now. It's with everybody who's you know, trying to build stuff, and it's just impossible to get stuff. But here's one of the rims, and that's basically a Shelby rim. The offset's slightly off. I don't particularly care for that. The offset's like 3 7/8 versus 4 1/2, so I'm not really sure what's going to happen with that. And then I got the Shelby centers for it. So I got that going on, and I got to get the tires mounted. I'm going to go with the GT BF Goodrich tires, and got vacuum the valve stems. BF Goodrich tires, and I'm going to go with 225 60 15s, and that way they'll clear the rims. The Shelby rims are 15s, and that it'll clear these disc brakes. These disc brakes are pretty massive, Thunderbird brakes. So it's, and the Shelby ones were actually oversized too. Like the rear end has 9-inch or 11-inch drum brakes in the back, and so it's getting there. I ran it today, flushed the motor out, put antifreeze in it. Everything's good. There's no leaks, and it's just jam-packed in here. So It'll probably be another, well, I might try to get another video in the next coming weeks if I ever get the condenser and the air conditioner back. But I got to hook all the inside, all the air conditioner ducts and stuff up. But I really want to get that so the air conditioner works. But now with the engine flushed, I mean, it had a lot of rust in the cylinder walls just from sitting for years, and that's all been flushed out. I mean, it was really dirty, and so I can tell the engine actually runs a little cooler. So that's what we got, and I'll have more. It's a project of love. I really love the car. It's just taking time to do, and it's pretty expensive. And there's one of our master mechanics. So he's doing his thing for me. And anyway, so I don't know what else to tell you about it, but all the undercarriage has all been done. Drive shafts in, shifters in, transmission's full, vacuum lines hooked up to it. So that's the next thing I want to do is get wheels and tires on it and put it in gear and see if she goes in gear. It did when it was in the Thunderbird. It did go into gear. It went in all gears, so I'm not really worried about it. The transmission was really super clean, just like the engine was. So I mean, that engine starts right up and it doesn't burn any oil or anything. I mean, it's only got 85,000 miles on the engine and trans, so it's got a lot more life in it. And now that it's got a home to where the oil can be changed out regularly and the transmission fluid, and it's going to be a cool car. It's going to be a cool car. And it's probably one of one because it's a 1968 Shelby GT500 KR car with a 428 Thunderjet. And that engine is rated at 360 horsepower, and that's without the headers on it. So you can add another probably 18 to 20 horsepower for the headers. And the compression ratio is 11.15 to 1. So it's a extremely high compression engine. It's a beast. It's a beast. And it's been gone through. It's got new valve seats, new timing chain, new rear main seal, new water pump, new distributor, new valve cover gaskets, new intake gaskets. Carburetor's been professionally rebuilt. The vacuum brake booster has been professionally rebuilt. It's got a new dual master brake. It's got Coney shocks all the way around it. The radiator has been totally, it was professionally cleaned and flushed out. It circulates awesome, no leaks. One of the things I noticed on one of the past videos was the hose, the radiator hose on the bottom had a little splice in it with an additional hose piece. Well, raising it up and changing the direction of the lower radiator hose, I didn't need to have that little piece anymore. So that's nice to get rid of that splice joint in there. And the radiator hose down below is off of a 1969 429 engine, so it fits fine. Same thing with the upper hose. It's a for a 1969 with a 429 engine in it. The brakes have been bled, and technically it could run and drive. This car was actually put off the road in Pennsylvania in 1990. So that's how long it's been off the road. Since 1990 was the last inspection sticker on it. And for nostalgia's sake, I think I'll probably just leave that inspection sticker on it. But anyhow, that's what we got. Thanks for watching. Bye.